Welcome.
Oh wow, that's sweet. Thank you.
You're welcome. You smell good.
Oh, thank you.
You gotta come over a little bit. Ah. Did you grind it out today? Did you? And today's gonna be a doozy of a topic.
No, it's not.
What's up? Hanging with the Joneses, episode 41. I'm Rashad.
And I'm Kesha.
And real quick, of course, I want to let you guys know, if you haven't joined patreon.com/hanging with the Joneses, please join, launch that, and we're going to try to do some more things up there, but we have to have people who actually, come through. If you like what we're doing, want to support, we're doing some more, and also get more content, that's the way to go. Secondly, make sure that you join us on the IG and the Facebook as well as the YouTube. All's going to be Hanging with the Joneses on IG, hanging with _the Joneses, and get right to the topic for today. 2 weeks ago, we started talking about how a relationship works. Last week, we kind of shifted a little bit over and talked about Malcolm and Marie. We're still in the same vein, but,
It is.
a little bit different, how relationships shouldn't work. And today, I kind of want to pivot back to our original premise. And what I'm talking about is non-negotiables. Before we talked about how, marriage is negotiation, you need to negotiate your terms. However, the converse of that is there's some things that you're just not gonna deal with, that you're not gonna have to deal with, and you ain't never gonna want to deal with. And those again are non-negotiables. Coming to terms with how you want your relationship to work, this is one of those things that I think we did early on, but we just didn't coin it as this and give it an actual, give it language and words. But there's some things that I feel, especially with you, he was like, nah, I'm not doing, that's going to be a no-go for me. And that's definitely like a non-negotiable. Like, what's your, matter of fact, what's your number one non-negotiable?
My number one with my bottom line is like this happened was always abuse. If I see any kind of verbal, emotional, physical abuse, I'm out. I'm done. That was always, and even to the point like when we disagree, you cannot yell at me. Cannot yell at me, cannot curse at me, can look over me. No, like intimidating.
Right.
That was bottom line. And I think I said it like from day one. Like the first time I am out.
He was very, very unsure about that.
Like that has never changed, whether I was 17-year-old Kesha or the age I am now. No.
Yeah. And that's something that I I really wasn't a yeller or anything, but like I had to respect that from jump. Like, okay. And even anything that remotely looked like that, like it was an issue. And even if it was okay. And the thing about what we perceive and what is actually a thing, perception is reality to people.
Mm-hmm.
So even when I wasn't being aggressive or I wasn't being loud, at any inkling or point of there even being the potentiality of that, it was like
I was ready. I was ready. Like what? Oh, okay.
I thought you said something.
And that was who was talking about don't ever hang up the phone on me.
Yeah,
that was a part of it too. To me, that was like a trigger. Like you hang up on me, when you come home, you ready for war. Like you ain't gonna come in the house and like just look like if you just hung up me like, hey, no. That was another one of my non-negotiables. Don't hang up. You better say bye real quick, then hang up. As long as you say something, don't just hang up on me.
Yeah, You be that was a whole thing. Now to think about it now, there's times like, oh, you hang up the phone? Like, no, I definitely said bye. You know
He said bye in itself. That was in his head. He said bye.
No. There was no inner monologue.
So I used to hang up on you.
Yeah, cause you trash.
Like I did.
You did all like a lot of these like a lot of your non-negotiables aren't my non-negotiables.
Right.
You know what I'm
so
saying?
That's why I could do it, right?
So like I definitely could. Yeah. I dealt with some of those things and didn't have an issue with it, but like vice versa, nah. Oh yeah,
It wasn't cute when I did it.
no, no, don't make me curse right here. It was not cute. Well, nothing cute about that.
Oh gosh, I thought that was a lie
You
though.
ain't no 5-year-old. It ain't cute when you act stupid. No, don't do that. So, and here's like a lot of those things. And think about this now as a almost 40-year-old adult. A lot of those things where we looked at as, especially I looked at it as being almost a double standard, was a lot of was some of the things that you said I'm not dealing with, but I was like, it's whatever. And then
you hit me sometimes.
yeah,
It's okay.
and no, you can't hit me. Why would you say this? We do not hang with the Joneses. We do not condone domestic violence, nor do we endorse domestic violence.
But it's male on male, male on female, female on male, male on.
You know what I'm saying?
No types.
Non-gender specific or non-gender specific. It doesn't matter. Like, we don't condone violence. Anyway, I lost my whole train of thought, yo. Like, you really messed me up. So, okay, yeah. So some of those things where I felt like, man, like, I feel like this is double standard. Looking at it now, I didn't. Oh, I'm just thinking because like I never really thought about it like this because we have these things where we think like, oh, you can't do this, but I can do this. When in reality, you don't want it done to you, and in return, as a courtesy, you think you wouldn't do it to me, but that may not even be the issue. You feel what I'm saying? You selfishly just don't want it done to you, and that, my friend, is the definition of a double standard, even though I didn't say that was a non-negotiable for me.
Yeah. So what is or was your non-negotiable?
My main non-negotiable and was early on. I don't even really remember. I didn't have a whole lot of them. I just was like,
No
man,
expectations.
like, yo, relationship.
I got a girl. Yes.
Yeah.
But you didn't, but I know you did have one. I think we both shared this one. No infidelity.
Oh yeah. You can't be no slur out here. Other than that, like I was pretty much. Oh yeah, and only thing I don't like is don't question my intelligence. Like don't try to call me stupid or dumb or any of those things. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not dumb or stupid. You know what I'm saying? And other than that, like it was pretty good.
From that situation with the word stupid.
Yeah. I'm not not that. Don't do
and
that.
it's true that what he just said, that like he can say things, but if you say stupid, it's over. Like, but you just said how many words or curses or whatever, but I said, oh, you stupid. What? Don't ever call stupid. Are you serious? Did you hear what you just said like 2 minutes ago? But I didn't say stupid.
Don't care.
Like, what? That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And I found it not making sense, too.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
Yeah, I know. And this was another non-negotiable. I wasn't going to cook. His father didn't believe me. They didn't believe that. My parents are like, yeah, she ain't going to cook. And almost 18 years later, married, almost 20 years together, I don't cook. I didn't lie about that. That wasn't a switcheroo.
Nah, not at all.
I made it, but like from day one, like I don't cook. Don't cook. I'm not going to do it. Now, it had a period in time when I cooked.
Yeah.
When I was a stay-at-home mom, like I had no out not to cook. Like, what's the reason me not cooking? And I'm at home with my daughter. But after that, nope, I'm not gonna cook.
Nah, there was definitely not, and I mean it was cool. I be tired. I don't feel like cooking for y'all now, because y'all be so indecisive. But other than that, like yeah, that was definitely one of those things where you was like, I do not cook, and I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't
so
mind.
no, I got to return. Rashad doesn't clean.
Nah, I'm not cleaning a thing. I ain't cleaning nothing. I am not washing no clothes. You know what I'm saying?
haven't washed clothes in 20 years.
If I wash clothes, it's like
I'm sick.
like something's going wrong in the household.
Like if I see him get up and I hear the washing machine, I'm like, what happened? You washing clothes? What's going on? Like it's alarming to me. Like, oh my gosh, what did I take too long? Like, what's going on? And so he's like, nah, I'm just washing my shoes. So I was like, oh, okay, if he washing his shoes, that's suspected. But yeah, but these were things that we kind of set in the beginning, even though they're probably not the traditional assigned gender roles.
Yeah.
But this is something like we did from day one when we were like, when I was 17, 18-year-old Kesha.
Yeah.
What made us do that?
I'm really be honest. You made us do that because you wanted. I feel like you was like super planning, and
I am.
It really like some of it like was really good because it kind of gave us a foundation of some of the things that we were wanting and didn't want and what to expect. And you were very like scenario driven. Like, what this happened, this happened. Like, yo, like, fam, you gotta cool out. Like, this is the fifth scenario in a row. I'm done for the night. I just want to go to sleep. But like, you was really adamant about, okay, what do we have kids? How you gonna rear them? You gonna do this? You gonna do that? You know, like so. You was always about the business of trying to future proof things or plan ahead to see, you know what I'm saying? So it won't be no surprises.
And you know, and I think that's a good way now, even though I did it prematurely, like when he asked me like, are we gonna do this or it's gonna be a thing? Once that happened, I was already like, okay, so don't like it was already put in place. Matter of fact, I think before you even really officially actually already put it, we was just, I don't think we have confirmed that we was gonna be exclusive. And I told him, like, yeah, so you're gonna ask me to marry me. Wait till I get out of college, you know, which he didn't. He asked me while I was in college. My last year, we got married. But it was like we had this discussion, which you probably should have been scared about. Like, we probably shouldn't have those discussions so early. But we did. And even before, like, okay, I was like, okay, we marry. I think I want to have children. Even though, like, if you follow all the other sessions, I was told my whole life I would never have children. And honestly didn't want children until we got married. And I was like, maybe let's try this. Let's see if this is going to happen. We had our oldest child name picked out way before we even thought about really having a child.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds weird. It was kind of like, oh, if I thought we have a child, we should name him such and such. And I had my Bible, and I wrote the name in my Bible. But we wasn't really talking about having children.
No, it was just, I mean, even the fact that I feel like there was so much planning for something. And it was a lot. Because even to the point where how you were still low key trying to test me on stuff and trying to see how I was gonna react and do like so. So that on top of trying to, you know, you always being so inquisitive and quizzical was a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I know for me, like I didn't have a whole lot of things that I really needed to negotiate. I just was like, you know, let's just. I'm not a huge planner. So my thing is always let's just see how it's gonna be.
Let's gonna let it happen.
Yeah.
My thing is why let it happen when we can plan how it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And you know which is so contradictory because he doesn't like being out of routine. So he's like, you think if you plan, it'll help you stay in routine as opposed to if it happened, it happened. I know it's the dichotomy of us. I know it doesn't make sense, but it's the truth. So even back then, but I'm thankful we had those conversations then, because now sometimes looking at people, it's like, y'all didn't talk about if you wanted children. So you are married and then you find out this one's like, I never wanted children. And certain things like, it's like you never discussed this. So at least we could say going into the marriage, we at least had a basis, like even just baseline. Like,
yeah, there was some generalities that we knew and were abreast to.
Even the fact I told him, mind you, once again, contradiction. Even though I said I want children, but asking him, you sure you want to marry me? Because there's a possibility I would never have children. Even that, being kind of really upfront with that. Hey, be careful what you marry. You might have the dream of children, but it might not happen through me.
Yeah. I mean, it was really interesting that what the old folks say that our courtship, because it just, yeah, I felt like there that entire time I was doing a lot of there was a lot of talking, like the the basis of our when we were still dating was really me getting out of my comfort zone, and also preconceived notions of a actual relationship at that time, me being, what I'm saying, that young. Because I didn't really realize that it was going to be this much work and we just dating. Like
Mm.
I felt like at times, like, yo, this is way too much. Like,
Yeah, I broke up like every week. Like I'm not doing this no more. Like every week. And then what happened? What happened 20 years later? Shut up. To the smile say, "Oh, shut up, okay?"
still here.
But I don't think I realized how hard it was. Um, because my escape was always good. We can end this and this be it, but it didn't happen. And now my perception is we're not going to end this, so you're going to have to sit here and work it out. Especially now we got a little people that's in the mix.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing about when it comes to having to negotiate and having things that you don't want to negotiate, because this is just I'm not going to deal with this.
Hmm.
It really depends upon both parties. Even you have to agree to those non-negotiables too.
Yeah.
Like even though it's like, yo, this is what it is, but I still have to acquiesce and be like, all right, like, I'll accept that you're not gonna be cooking all the time. I have to accept that.
I might not like it, but
Yeah,
it
it's one again. It's just one of the. It's just based
a
upon the
negotiation.
terms of our marriage.
A negotiation.
Yeah, like, and
Hmm.
people get all caught up with, like, the whole business aspects of this thing, but fam, like, you literally sign, like you have to get a marriage license
And sign
and
and
sign it
swear
and
in.
swear it. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to the court. It's like
I swear that.
it's legitimately like opening a business. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, with you and your partner. So if you are gonna go into a business blind, why would you expect to have anything else but issues when there are terms and things that you just haven't discussed or haven't even thought about negotiating? And
Hmm.
then 5 years down the line, 7 years down the line, a couple months down the line, you're like, man, I don't even want to do this.
Yeah.
And then you have to go through the whole process of then what, tearing down the business.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, and that I'm glad you say that because that leads me into that. That was also one of our negotiations. Never say the D word.
Yeah.
Divorce wasn't an option. And I know there's mixed feelings. Like some people like divorce is an option. Long as you stay within this boundaries, you can't use that as an out. Like every time you get upset, okay, I want a divorce. So we said that's no longer on the table. That's not an option. So you're gonna have to find another way to work it out.
Yeah, and again, divorce is an option.
Hmm.
It's just not an option for how we wanted our marriage to be and look. Because I know a lot of people will push back and say, "Oh, well, I had to get a divorce." So, care
And
about your
some of them, I'm saying you should have.
good. I don't really care about your divorce. I
And
mean, that's what you had to do. But when it comes to how we set things up and what we wanted to do for ourselves and our family, being like having divorce as an open option, as like, like, yeah, I'm about to be out, like, that's never was an option for us, because we knew, like, if one of us left, there would be no coming back. Like, there is no means of reciprocity or restitution. There would be no renegotiating our marriage, because at that point it will be done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to sit here and come back after you said you don't want me. So no, so no. So having going through the whole process of the divorce, I've seen it so many times. It's ugly. It's not fun. So for us, at 20 and 21 years old, he was like, well, we already know we can't go into things thinking that I'm about to run home
Hmm.
to my dad. You about to run home to your mom. That's not an option. We have to be adults and really figure this thing out for
Hmm.
our own
And
selves.
then especially when little ones start being thrown in the mix. It's like, okay, this really, really can't be an option because we would tear their world upside down. So, as long as you respect my boundaries, yes, and in a relationship, I have boundaries. Just because I'm in a relationship doesn't mean that I'm property. I have boundaries. As long as I respect his, which he didn't have any, the D word's off the table. We gonna ride. I don't say ride die. I hate the word ride die.
You really use ride right there too. I was like, ugh, I cringed.
Yeah. I know, but I didn't say ride die.
But you said like 4 times now.
I didn't say ride die.
You said it.
I know.
It's 4 times.
Reason I have an issue with ride or die, because I'm always like, why do I have to die? Why can't we live? Like, why is that? That's like the D word. Why? Let's ride. Let's enjoy this.
Yeah, for real. Anyway. Hard. It's hard, y'all.
You know what? But we didn't know that we were negotiating.
Nah, we just was trying to figure it out, and that's
you were just trying to be nice.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else.
Nah, you can say. Go on, say what you gonna say.
He was trying to have sex, so he was gonna say whatever.
Yeah, like I'm not about to sit here and have this argument for days, and you be upset. Like, nah. All right. Did you get it all out? Thank you. Let's get to the point.
And what was the point?
Happy Valentine's Day.
Shut up.
I'm not about to sit here and argue with you this whole daggone time. Shoot.
He just want to give, and he's just say, I just want to get back to loving. Like, what?
Yes, man. Let's get.
That's what he used to do. I'm like, get off me, no.
Let's just hug this thing out, man. Come on now.
And that was a true tactic that he used. Come on, let's just hug it out.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
I don't want you to hug me.
Why we gotta be arguing?
I'm also really not affectionate, so especially when I'm angry, I definitely don't want you touching me.
This is so much more easy and comfortable.
Flip it to see anger like this. If we redirect it, no, there's no redirecting it for me. No.
Yeah, man. You know what you say? Energy's never lost, right? Yeah.
Shut up.
I'm just saying, man. Like, why we gotta be arguing?
So and I didn't know then, and I want to say that was also a thing. God had to have his hands all in it, because looking at 17, 18, 19-year-old self, we didn't know we were laying foundation. I was just talking.
Yeah, and I just didn't care, and we were stupid, yo. Like, oh my God. If you happen to be watching this or listening to this and you're like, I don't know, like in like your early 20s, it's okay, you're dumb. I was dumb too.
We wasn't even early 20s when we started.
And I thought I knew. Rashad was so confident, so ignorant, so full of pride. I just knew I knew it. Didn't know nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa, all this happens?
And they was looking at me like, man, don't worry, you're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
My dad always said, yeah, don't worry, just live a little. You'll see. I'm like, man, shut up, yo. Talking to me. I know what I'm doing. I ain't know nothing. Yeah.
But we tried.
Yeah.
We tried.
We sure did try. We tried our best. I think this is a good place to stop. All right. So
negotiation.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to hide it.
Negotiation. Oh, it sounds like Yoda.
Oh, gosh.
Negotiate, have you? Oh, man.
What's in that cup?
Just water.
Oh, the way you sip it.
It's really good.
It's water.
It is. Anyway, if you listen this long, you're the real MVP. We appreciate you guys. Again, join all the things, man. Like, we love y'all. If you watch WandaVision, we still got the review for the latest episode out, vlog out. Kids got something to say. Probably drop something this week, and be back next Friday with another review of WandaVision, and next Monday with us. We did record this on Valentine's Day, so if you celebrate a holiday, great for you. If not, just another Sunday. Other than
Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Love Day.
Yeah. Other than that, man, we will see you all next time. Later.